Well, hey guys, what is up? Welcome to today's video. If you haven't seen the title already or read it already, we are going to be talking about little Gentry David's birth story and how it all went down. I'm currently sitting on the sofa with him. I'm just trying to rock him with my legs to sleep. So if you see his little feet down here, that's what that is. But he is the sweetest little boy. He is just so cute, and Gentry and I, we marvel at just how amazing it is to conceive, to be able to carry a child, to give birth to a child, and then also just the overall sense of like love and protection that you feel as soon as you get to meet your little one. And he is only a week old. I'm only a week postpartum. I'm feeling good though, really good. And we somewhat have a routine down, so that's been really nice from the start. And yeah, so without further ado, let's get on into today's video. So in the last video I posted, I had the concern that I was gonna have to be induced because he was a few days overdue and I was really anxious about being induced. Not that there's anything necessarily wrong with it or that it's not valid, but it just simply wasn't the way that I wanted to have a baby. I wanted spontaneous labor. And that's something that I had been praying for, that many friends had been praying for. And I think finally I got to a point when he was like 3 to 4 days past due. I was like, this is not gonna happen. He's not gonna come. He's gonna have to be induced. And I was really anxious about that. I really did not want that. So on May 12th, which was Mother's Day, I went to church Sunday morning, got all the comments, oh, still no baby, like you're still pregnant, all those things. And I was really sad about it. And in fact, I almost cried about it because I really wanted him to be born by Mother's Day. So I was just overall feeling in a lot of ways defeated that my little one was not here yet. And literally the night before Mother's Day, I had cried to my husband Gentry, and I was like, I just don't think he's gonna come on his own. I wanted to be a mom on Mother's Day. Like, I was just so sad. I was like, I don't want to be at church on Sunday because I'm gonna see all these moms with their babies and my baby's not here yet. And I was just really impatient, really upset about it, I guess. Well, little did I know, God would start my labor on Mother's Day. I was sitting in second service at church and I started feeling cramps, like menstrual cramps, but I also was feeling them alongside Braxton Hicks, which if you don't know what Braxton Hicks is, it's basically considered false labor. It's where your stomach kind of tightens and gets really hard. And I was having those, but I was also having menstrual cramps. And I was like, is this a contraction? Should I start like timing them? And I noticed that they did come in waves. And I was like, okay, this has to be something. So I immediately started during second service at our church, I immediately started counting my contractions. But in my head, I was like, nope, this is nothing. Like, my mind is just playing tricks on me. Like, this is not real. This is not actually happening. When I was timing them, I noticed that they were at first coming every 10 minutes. So I would have a small contraction, in terms of pain, I mean small contraction. And then it would go away for like 10 minutes, come back for 30 seconds, all that stuff. And I started timing them all day, all afternoon, because I was just like, this could be it, who knows? But I just resumed like my daily activities. I went out to lunch with my family, and I went with Gentry to visit his mom and his family for Mother's Day, and just did all the normal activities. My pain wasn't severe or anything. It was just normal, honestly. And the AC kicked on, so I'm gonna talk a little louder. So then that night I texted my doula because I had a doula, she's my cousin, and she lives in Michigan, but I really, really wanted her to be a doula at my birth and also be present at labor and delivery and everything. It's just something that I have dreamed of since I was little. I've always wanted her there, and anyways, I was able to get her there. But I texted her and I was like, hey, just wanted to update you, like these are the things that I'm feeling. I had lost some more of my mucus plug that morning, and I didn't think anything of it. I was like, you know what, like it's just normal day being pregnant. And I lost my mucus plug that morning, and I told her that I've been having what I think are contractions, but I'm not too sure because they're not super painful, every 10 minutes. And by that point they were like every 5 minutes. And she was like, so what's the plan? Do you want me to come down? She said, if I do come down, I think it would be best for me to come at 4 p.m. Because she lived about 4 or 5 hours away, so it would take her a whole drive to get down here. And I was like, no, honestly, I said, I think that this is fake. Like, I don't think this is real. So I was like, I'll text you a lot later on tonight if anything progresses. And I started getting really nervous because I was like, if this really is labor and I wait till the morning to text her, she might be late to the birth and everything. So I texted her at 9 p.m. and I said, yes, I do think that you should make your way here. And luckily she was so gracious in getting up literally in the middle of the night, driving 5-6 hours to the hospital. But I text her at 9 p.m., tell her to come, and then my husband and I go to bed at 9. I think nothing's gonna happen. Gentry thinks nothing's gonna happen. Like, he thought that we would wake up the next morning and it would just be an average day. And so we genuinely both thought that that was what was gonna happen. And I wake up 2 hours after I go to bed. So I wake up around 11, 12. I think I wake up around 11. And I wake up to a sploosh of water, pretty much, that drenched like our bed and what I was wearing. And at first I was like, okay, like, is this my water, or like did I like pee myself or something? I go to the bathroom and it's still trickling out. I put on a fresh pair of underwear, and within a matter of seconds, that pair of underwear gets drenched. So I was like, yep, this is my water. I am not peeing myself. This isn't discharged. It's not any of that. Like, this is my water. So I wake up Gentry. I said, Gentry, I think my water has broken. I'm gonna call the midwife. So he immediately gets up. He starts packing his bag. He starts packing my bags into the car. And about 5 minutes after my water breaks, I start experiencing a lot more painful contractions versus earlier that other morning and afternoon. Like, they weren't painful at all. And I was like, yep, this is definitely labor. This is definitely contraction. And along with my water breaking, there was a bloody show, which, if you guys don't know what that is, basically it's like a sign that you're literally either about to, you can have bloody show like days before, weeks before, hours before, all the things. But it just so happened that it happened when my water broke, that I had bloody show. So that also happened. I called the midwife. I was like, hey, this is Abigail. I think my water just broke. I just kind of told her I've been experiencing this and this and this and this. And I said, do I need to go to the hospital right now? And she said, honestly, with the way that you are coping right now and all this stuff, you probably have a little bit more time before you actually need to go to the hospital. So, but she said, it's up to you. She said, when you do decide to go to the hospital, call us so that we know that you're there. So an hour goes by, we're still packing up stuff because at this point we're like, okay, yes, it's gonna happen today. And so Gentry gets all the stuff in our car. He has to drive to the church first. Like, it's literally 1 a.m. in the morning on Monday the 13th. And he drives to the church because we forgot to print out our birth plan. So he drives to the church, prints out like 10 copies of our birth plan, and then drives home. And the minute he gets home, I was just like, Gentry, like, I think we should go to the hospital. Because I started timing my contractions and they were getting worse and worse. Within the hour, they went from 5 minutes to 4 minutes. And we don't live super close to the hospital that we wanted to deliver at. We live about 30 to 45 minute drive. So we knew that we couldn't wait it out a little bit longer. Like, we knew that we had a certain time frame in which we needed to get there. And so when my contractions started going from 5 minutes to 4 minutes, that's when I was like, yeah, we need to book it. So we're driving to the hospital and my contractions are coming every 4 minutes or so, and I'm breathing through them. And I was actually like pretty calm throughout my labor, I would say. Like during contractions, I was like literally like doing that, or like I don't know if this is weird or not, but I was moaning and I was going like stuff like that. And so it honestly helps so much get through those contractions. And another thing that really helped is not tensing up and just like releasing. That's something that I had worked with my doula on, is just relaxing and trying to relax my body, because tensing up was a big thing. So we get to the hospital, we have all of our bags with us, and we check in. I said, I'm Abigail Deck, I'm in labor. My contractions are every 4 minutes. My water has broken. There was bloody show. I said there was no color to my water, no smell, nothing. And they did not triage me. They just put me right in a room. Because I think that they just knew, like, okay, like she's getting close or something like that, or like she's definitely dilated enough to be admitted. So I go back to my room. They strap all the baby monitors and everything on me, and I'm just breathing through my contractions, waiting for the midwife to come. They're sticking IVs in me, and just in case I needed fluid or anything like that. And then what happened? And the midwife came in, she checked me, and I was 4 centimeters dilated and 90% effaced, which was really good. I think it's so crazy how like literally 3 or 4 days before that, I was not dilated at all, and then I went to 4 centimeters in a matter of like 4 days, or even just that night, I don't even know. So there we go, now it's turned off. She checks me, I'm 4 centimeters, and so I just told them my birth plan, like, yes, I want an epidural, but I kind of want to wait a little bit, like I don't want to get the epidurals too soon. So I probably waited about 3 or 4 hours after I was admitted to get the epidural, maybe even 5 hours, because we got there around 1 a.m. and I didn't get the epidural until about 6 a.m. And by that point, they were getting very, very painful, and I was getting really tired. And that was the main thing. It wasn't the pain that so much was like, oh, like I need the epidural. It was more of just the fact that I was getting tired. My contractions were coming every 2 or 3 minutes, and I honestly just wanted to sleep and just rest a whole lot. So I asked for the epidural, and I was like, I kept asking, where are the people doing the epidurals? Where are they? Because I had told them 30 minutes prior, like, I want the epidural in 30 minutes, but it took them like 2 hours to get to me because they were helping out another woman, and they had to like replace everything and all that. So they come in and they're placing the epidural. They place it once, and I felt something really pokey on my right side. I was like, hey, like I feel something pokey on my right side. They're like, okay, we're gonna take that out and we're gonna do another one. The second one was worse than the first time they did it. Because what they have to do is they have to inject lidocaine in your back, and then they put in the epidural. And when they injected the lidocaine for the second time, that hurt. And it hurt not because of actual pain, but it hurt because of the anticipation. Like, I didn't know when they were going to stick it in my back. And so when they did stick the, not epidural, the lidocaine in my back, it was just a shocking feeling that I just wasn't expecting. So I did jolt, and like, I was like, whoa. And they were like, it's okay. Like, it's okay. We're almost done, all that stuff. So got the epidural, and then I started feeling perfectly fine about 15-20 minutes after I had it. It worked all over across my body. The one thing I will say is an epidural is not what I expected it to feel like. I thought that I would feel paralyzed, like I could not feel my legs. But instead, like, you know that sensation when you sit on your legs or your feet for too long and you try and stand up and your foot feels really heavy and like kind of tingly? That's what it feels like when you have the epidural. You just feel that in your legs down. I did not feel that like in my stomach area or anything. It was just legs down that I felt that kind of a feeling. So I got the epidural at 6 a.m. And after that, I think an hour after I got the epidural, they checked me. I was 7 centimeters dilated and 90% effaced. And my midwife looked at me and said, I think you're gonna have this baby by 10 a.m. It was like 7 or 8 at that point. So I was like really excited. I was like, oh my gosh, like he's gonna be born like in the morning. That's awesome. So I'm just waiting, and so when you have the epidural, you're not able to move around a whole lot or at all in my case. So it was really difficult, but it's important that when you are laboring that you are moving around because it helps you to dilate faster. So my doula had me do the peanut ball on either side for like 30 minutes on one side, 30 minutes on another. They had me like sitting up and holding on a bar, and just doing different things. And then occasionally I was just like literally sleeping because I was just so tired because I had been up for 12 or so hours at that point. And finally, hey little guy, hey booger, hey butt. His little ears are poking out. It's so cute. And what was I saying? So they were trying to move me around. It got to 12 p.m. I still wasn't dilating any faster. And then around 1 or 2, I had my other midwife come in. She checked me. I was 9 centimeters dilated, 90% effaced, but his head was being really wonky. It was kind of like slanted in the birth canal. So it was making it a lot harder for him to basically descend. And so that's why they believe that like there wasn't a whole lot of like progression, like quick progression, was just because of the way his head was positioned. It wasn't positioned right on. It was kind of like slanted, I guess. Hey buddy. And so they ended up continuing to move me back and forth and back and forth. Finally get to 10 centimeters. They had me do like a practice push, just to know like this is what it feels like. This is where you should be pushing and all that stuff. And so she's sticking her fingers where she sticks her fingers, which honestly, if you don't know how to push, that helped me so much to know, okay, like where she is touching right now, that is what I need to be pushing, if that makes sense. So that helped me a whole lot, visualizing that. So I started pushing at 4 o'clock. I did not stop pushing until 7:30. So I was pushing on and off for 4 hours straight, which honestly wasn't as exhausting as I thought it would be. It was just kind of very underwhelming. And I know in the movies they show like everyone's rushing in and like all this stuff, and honestly it was not like that until maybe like the last 5 minutes. So like for three hours I was just on my back pushing with my mom, my husband, my doula, my nurse and midwife. And it was honestly like chill. It was so chill. I thought it was gonna be a lot more intense, but it was just very chill. And I think one of the coolest parts was when they like told me, they're like, oh, we can see his head, like we can see like the hair, his light colored hair. Like that was really encouraging to me. And I'm gonna move you a little bit. There you go, buddy. That was very encouraging, and I was just getting so excited, and to like push him out. I was like, oh my gosh. And finally he started crowning, his head started coming out, and my husband Gentry got to actually pull him out. So they put him in scrubs and gave him gloves and all that stuff. And I did my final push, and baby Gentry David was born. They put him on my chest, and he cried a little bit, but then calmed down. And then Gentry and I, we just bawled our eyes out. We were just so grateful, so excited about the whole thing, and just so excited to meet our son, who had been growing in me for 9+ months. And it was just such a beautiful thing. And we are just so grateful. But he came out not 9 pounds. No, he came out 7 pounds and 11 ounces and 20 inches long. And he's the cutest little thing. He has the cutest little hair and everything. But we are just so excited and so elated for how everything turned out. It was honestly the most peaceful, chill labor that I had ever thought. You know, I thought I was gonna have an intense labor. I thought things weren't gonna go right. I was gonna have to be induced and all that stuff. But the Lord really showed up, and the Lord was like, hey, look, I am faithful. I am here. Like, I am in your labor and delivery. And now our little Gentry David is a week old. And if you guys don't know, my husband's name is Gentry. He is the 4th Gentry in his family. So there are 5 Gentrys. His grandpa's name is Gentry, his great grandpa, his dad, and him. And so we decided to name our son Gentry David to be the 5th Gentry. But then David is the name of my grandpa on my side of the family, my dad's side of the family. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, we're saying your name. He's like kind of smiling a little bit. He's so silly. But yeah, so that is how and why and where we got his name, and all those things. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video of me sharing Gentry David's birth story, about how it all went down, the excitement, all of that stuff. It was just so beautiful, and I'm so excited to be able to share more about what it's like to be a mom, a first-time mom of a newborn, and just honestly just figuring things out as we go. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next one.